Here we
Okay,
go.
we
That's
don't need to
halfway
repeat
through.
it. God, you
You're
got
two
me
and two now.
sweating, bro.
All right, this one's going to be fun. From the Mojo, Quentin Meyer. Your podcast brethren, Quentin Meyer.
Respectfully, Q. Welcome to a new edition of the 3 Up, 3 Down podcast. I'm your host, Brian Hunter. Normally, I'd have Q with me for a full 3 Up, 3 Down pod. Well, originally when we scheduled this out, it was supposed to be a short episode. Just have the interviews, kind of get into ready for our final week of the season. Well, with our pitcher of the week interview with Mr. Sam Skibby, script gets flipped a little bit on me again. You know, last week might have been a little planned, but this week it was not planned. So I hope you guys thoroughly enjoy the content. I hope you thoroughly enjoy him putting me in the hot seat, because definitely I was sweating pretty profusely during some of these questions and kind of some of the things he made me think about. So I hope you thoroughly enjoyed that. But first, we're going to kick it off with our interview with our hitter of the week, Mr. James Klein, and his 3 big home runs with his Archers 10-0 win over the Kings just a couple weeks ago. So stick around, stay tuned, and I promise you, it's going to be a blast. Joining us first this week as our Cigar Lounge hitter of the week, going 3 for 4 with 3 home runs and 6 RBI against the Kings, helping his Archers team keep pace in the division. Please welcome back Mr. James Klein.
Yeah. Thank you. Good to be here.
What's up, buddy? Glad you're able to be here this time.
I know.
How's your day going? How's your weekend been?
It's been good. I had a party last night.
There you go.
Very good.
There you go. All right, so walk me through the night. In all reality, the ball looked like it must have been like a beach ball to you, coming up to you, the way you were hitting them. So kind of walk me, tell me how you were feeling.
Well, first at bat, I think I either walked or struck out. I was just seeing what Johnny Gunn was going to do tonight, see if he was actually going to bring it or not. After the first at bat, I made a few adjustments, planting my feet where I wanted them. Didn't really do too much body action. And then Johnny Gunn, my first 3 bombs I've had of the season was off of him. So I just made the adjustment. I can tell exactly what kind of pitch he's throwing. So when he threw it from that arm slot, I just knew exactly what it was going to be. As long as it was a strike, I was going to take it.
Gotcha.
Second at bat was a 56 and under. 56 and under from Nick Bone. First 56 and under that I haven't struck out on.
Hey, we've all been there. All right, we've all been there. This has been the year of it.
It's a rough feeling.
You feel very inadequate.
Yeah, but he was just throwing the same pitch, nice little riser in there. Just took it far. Third at bat against Nick Bone. He was really only throwing 1 pitch for a strike, which was that riser. His screwball or drop ball wasn't really locating that well. And he threw me 2 or 3 straight, so I was like, okay, he's probably going to bring me another one, and he did, and it was right down the middle, and I took it.
Yeah, a little bit. So you started the season 0 for 16 through the first 5 games. But in the last 6 games, you're batting 7. You're 7 for 21 with 5 bombs and a double. So, were there any changes that you made to your approach? That help you been successful during this hot streak?
Quentin actually helped me a lot with my approach during yellow bets and all that. I've had the same approach I had in MO WIFF, and it just wasn't working out. No hits, no anything, striking out a lot, getting under the ball a lot. So he told me to just plant my feet, don't really go for much of a leg kick or stride, 2-strike approach, choke up, and just wait and hit it.
Gotcha. So it's pretty much been long ball or nothing. I mean, for you, essentially, your 7-5 have gone over the fence. But I mean, is it just the power of the swing, or is it just you think you're barreling up the ball that much?
I feel like it's the power of my swing. I swing so hard at every single ball, and I kind of need to control that. But You know, if it makes contact, I feel like it's either going to be a double or it's going to be gone. So,
Okay. So being drafted by the Archers, obviously we haven't really talked that much, podcast wise with you, since the draft and everything. How has it been kind of playing with a team like the Archers with all that experience? What's the biggest thing you've learned from them or by watching them?
patience, consuming your energy, definitely. Rory and them are amazing to hang out with. I love the guys. They're funny. They're competitive. The energy's there. Especially Drew Maurer for us being our first year. He's bringing impact on me too. I bring an impact on him. We've all bring like all the impacts on each other, taught each other, and just keep on learning from there. I guess, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, you and Drew, you guys are a formidable little 1-2 punch right now.
Yeah.
For being the young guns, the youngest two of the pitching staff. Well, hell, the youngest two in your team. But it's you guys been fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie. I give you your flowers. Playoffs are right around the corner. The lights are brighter. More attention on the game, more attention on you specifically. How are you looking to stay ready and for the playoffs?
Keep my arm loose. Don't throw my arm out. Obviously, keep working on my pressure to bat. We've been really hitting good so far the last few games, and we've really been pitching good. Drew Maurer and I are on a hot streak right now. So I just stay packed, work on a couple of things on the weekend when I'm free, and yeah, I just feel like we're a championship team, and I feel like we can take it this year.
Do you think this is going to be the Archers break that streak of 2 in a row? Third time's a charm. Third time this ship
I,
finally.
I feel like this is the year, especially with me and Drew in our first year.
Hey, it'd be kind of cool to see it. I mean, I hope not for my Thunderbird's sake, but by all means, I like what you and Drew are doing. I like Rory and the boys over there.
Yeah, we want Rory to get that championship just as bad as we do.
So, MO WIFF Classic's coming up. Who are you playing with?
I am playing with my father and a couple of his and my buddies from Yellow Bets on our Thursday league. Then I got a couple of dudes from Wednesday. I got, you remember Jake, right? The big guy on Wednesday. It's him, his brother, younger brother, and his teammate Jeff. He's the other pitcher for their team. And that's what we did last year, minus Jake's brother. So, and we made a good run last year. It was just cool.
I mean, that's going to happen, when you get into that round of 8 or you guys made a final round of 8 or final 4? I can't remember.
Final 4.
Yeah, I mean, you guys ran into a buzzsaw. Those final 4 teams,
yeah.
they weren't playing around.
No, especially when you have teammates that haven't seen that kind of stuff like we have.
And I don't think it's going to be any easier this year, to say the least.
No,
I think it's going to be good practice for UWIFs, because when you get to UWIFs, there's not a damn team up there that is, borderline just basic. They are all prime and primed and ready to go.
Yeah, I know.
So the team name is F Cancer. Obviously, the podcast got the chitlins, watching, so I don't want to say the word. What's the significance of your guys' team? I know there's kind of a special story behind it all. Not story, but it's kind of special meaning for the team name for you guys. And if you're willing to share it, I think our viewers would love to hear it.
Oh, yeah, I'll share it. My family, me and my dad's family, have always been battling with cancer. 3 out of the 5 brothers that he is in have died from cancer. My Uncle Dave just recently passed away from lung.
Gotcha.
So basically, we were like, when we first started the Thursday Night League, we were just Yellow Bats. And it was just, but after that started like continuously happening with the cancer and all that, that was like, you know what? We'll make our team fuck cancer. I was like, I love it. And then he made the shirts. It had like the names on them and all that. It was cool. I loved it.
Yeah, I know when your dad came to me and asked me about helping, the jerseys and everything, and we talked about the names. Um, and, at first it was kind of like, okay, maybe we do something different with the names. But then I got thinking about it and how they're sideways on the shoulder, and I was
Yeah.
like, dude, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of dope. So I'm glad to see that you guys were okay with keeping that there. So it's
Yeah.
kind of awesome to sit there and see it. So that takes me to UWIFs. Now you're going to be playing with Lift City, I believe, right?
Yes.
And how excited you be playing with that kind of roster?
Dude, I'm so
Don't get me
excited.
wrong. Don't get me wrong. Your Archers roster is pretty damn close to that
Yeah.
kind of level. But I mean, going up there, getting to play with people that, you haven't got to really play with before on the team, besides Keel.
Yeah. Dude, I'm very excited. This is my first year. Good weekend with the boys, the fellas. Have a great time, play some good wiffle ball, show what I can do to other people. Know that I'm not just a dude you can step over or walk over and all that. Like, I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna play. I'm gonna shove. I'm gonna try to hit.
Hey, dude, it's one of them things where one hit can win a game. So I mean,
Yeah. Most of the games are literally just like 1-0, 2-0, 2-1. Like, it's not high scoring.
yeah.
It's just very, very competitive. And if you get that hit, your whole team's exploding with excitement.
Oh yeah, dude,
Oh yeah.
it's nuts. Like I was sitting there watching, one of our Mo WIFF games, and I watched like a UWIF game, and like it was the same situation, a little hit up the middle, but the celebrations are completely different. No man, it's gonna be a good time up there, and I mean, just always my advice to you, um, is just gonna be to enjoy it, be in the moment, but realize it's just another game. You've been in high stakes baseball games before. You know how that goes. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Gonna be a roller coaster.
dude, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Trust me, we're gonna have a lot of fun up there. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I'm not going up there to play, but I'm gonna be running around that field watching all y'all play. Kind of hoping it's easy. I mean, you guys draw the same. A couple of teams draw the same pool. That way, I can
Yeah.
just stay stationary. But no, man, it's gonna be a good time.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great.
All right, buddy. Well, hey, I appreciate you giving us a couple minutes here today just to kind of talk and catch up with you. And nothing but the best of luck this week. Is it going to be you or is it going to be Drew pitching on Thursday?
I don't know.
I love asking that question, knowing the fact nobody's going to answer it. Because they
I
either don't know, we don't know who's showing up, or they just purely, don't want to
Yeah.
say.
I was watching one of the interviews with you and Rory. Q asked the question. Rory was like, "She's gonna have to find out."
Oh shit, that's funny. That's
I
a good
know.
one. But no, Archers will be in action against the Mambas this week, so I mean it's going to be high profile offense versus some high profile pitching. So I think we're in for a nice little fireworks display. Either
Yeah,
way,
we are.
whether it's hitting or pitching. You gave up 3 hits last week on the mound. It's the first time you've given up multiple hits. Let's
I
see.
know.
Let's see if somebody finally scorches a run off you here in the final game of the season.
I hope not. I'll have that clean ball with me this time. I didn't have that last.
Oh, got you. All right, James. Hey, man. Again, I appreciate you coming on. And with that being said, we'll be right back with our Buffalo Wild Wings pitcher of the week.
You guys.
Joining me now is our Week 16 Buffalo Wild Wings pitcher of the week, going 5 strong innings, striking out 12, having a blast on the mound while throwing his second no-hitter of the season. Helping his Mojo win their 11th game of the season. Please welcome back your favorite wiffle ball player's favorite player, Mr. Samuel Skibby.
Thank you.
Proud
Thank you,
of
Brian. Thank you, Brian, for having me again. It's so weird to say that I have 2 pitchers of the week and 0 hitters of the week on the season. So here we are.
What, your brothers got one each?
Yeah.
Or 2 each? 1 each, 2 each? I don't know. One of the
I don't know. He went on a run there. It seemed like he was on your podcast every single day. So
Yeah, that is true. But other than that, how's your summer been? How you been?
summer's been good. Summer for us in our household ended last week. Obviously, we base it obviously being education based. My wife and I, the summer is officially over, even though the weather may not seem like it. Although right now it is quite crisp. You almost feel that a fall autumnness coming by on a 72-degree day today when this is being recorded. But summer has been fantastic. I know my kids are a little wary of school, but we actually have a freshman in high school and a kindergartner at the same time right now. And my wife, for the first time in her career, switched schools in the same job. So she's now the art teacher at my kindergarten son's school. So it's been a transition for everybody this year. And with all the change going on, the fact that I'm the one that doesn't have the most change after going through a bunch of different job changes the past couple of years, it's kind of nice to be the one that's kind of the stagnant one and helping everybody get through their transition. So we're sad the summer's over, but also excited for the new adventure in our family.
So you work from home, right? So it's been quieter around the house?
Yeah, last week was super quiet. I have a little bit of travel in my job, so I was traveling to Illinois and a few places in Missouri last week. This coming week will be even quieter, just because I have no travel planned this week right now. But as you may have seen, and all the viewers out there, 56 and under came back last week. It wasn't on Wednesday; it was on Thursday, but it was on Wednesday. That was one of my travel days, so it was nice. I believe this Wednesday I will be back on the airwaves, so I will be back in the kind of the normal time. And that's how the summer went, right? Like I felt like I was more involved with my family and I couldn't get away during those Wednesdays. But now that the summer is over and back to school season, I'll have a little bit of time during my lunch breaks to hit up some wiffle ball on Wednesdays now.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, dude, it's, like I always say, family first always, right? So, during the summer, love it. But yeah.
And the only person that was really, really mad that I wasn't continuously doing every Wednesday was Big Dan. And he was the only one that was mad. That was like, why haven't you met on Wednesdays? I'm sorry. It's busy right now. And let's be honest, Brian, like wiffle ball has been like, it's like every other week I feel like we've played the past couple months for MO WIFF, whether it's rainouts, whether it's national tournaments, something coming up. It seems like we've always had an off week after a playing week. So it just never worked out.
Ain't that the truth? I remember Thursday when that notification came out that you were live. I was in the middle of something. I was like, oh man. I was like, I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. But
I think a lot of people were surprised it was on Thursday, and a little pleasant surprise before we leave for the fields in a couple hours. So
I love that aspect of it.
Yeah, it was fun.
But let's get into it real quick. Just two little tidbits. If you weren't already aware, but knowing you probably are. Did you know that you're only 2 hits shy of 100 for your MO WIFF career? You'd be joining Cole as the only member of the 100 hit club.
So the only reason I know that is because Jordan Smith and I are on the same team now, the Mojo, and he also is 2 away from 100. And we knew that because Cam was trying to pit us against each other last week and saying who's going to get there first. I think Jordan was actually behind me, and I didn't get a hit last week. So Jordan was behind me, and he caught up to me last week. So now going into the final week of the season, we face off against the Kings on the last week. So I plan to put myself high in the batting order and Jordan all the way at the bottom, so I have more chances than he does on this last day.
Well, that's actually a lot of fun there. So I know that's not what I expected you to hear, but I like it. I'm all here for it. That's good fun. And then you're only 1 win away on the mound from joining the 30-win team. Joining teammate Jordan Smith and Commissioner Cam Smith. So you'd be the first non-Smith member.
Yeah, I did not know that I was 1 win away. I thought maybe I should have already had 30. Maybe I lose too many games when I feel like I need to win, especially this year. I had 2 losses, and it might be one of the only times in my career, I don't know, I have to look back, that I have more than 1 loss. So I think last year I only had 1, and I can't remember the previous years. Let's be honest, we're getting old. We can't remember that far back, Brian. But
that's why I like this website, because it's easy to pull and look at it.
But I mean, two losses, and it was against the Archers and the Kings, I believe, is who I lost to this year. And I think that's back-to-back years. Maybe I've lost to the Kings. So we face off next week. So maybe I should not pitch against the Kings next week.
Maybe not. Maybe third time's a charm, right?
Maybe. We'll see.
All right. So let's walk me through the game last week against the Mambas. How do you prepare to pitch against a lineup that has that firepower potential?
Yeah, I mean, game's on behind me, as you can tell, in my bar going on. And it was you really can't prepare for the Mambas. You can kind of prepare for Cole in the sense of you just have to pitch around him. But if you pitch around him, then right behind him is another fantastic hitter in Chandler. You keep going, Parker. You keep going with Caden. Their lineup is stacked with players. I know James Dutton was hitting fifth, and Alex Eggert as well. So they were batting sixth, and I think that was a big advantage. Obviously, going into it as a pitcher, I didn't know how many they were going to bat until all of a sudden they just started coming up. But when you throw a no hitter, I think I only faced off against Cole 3 or 4 times, right? In those 5 innings, or maybe 3 times is all I faced off against him. So that part of it you can't prepare for, because you think, okay, if I'm facing off 4 times, I might face Cole every inning or every other inning. But it was a little bit easier with them having 6. I was just want to have fun, and you probably could see it if you go back and watch the video. It's
you were
me and Jordan. Me and Jordan were the only 2 pitchers we had this week. We were short-staffed. Shout out to Peter Light for kind of jumping in last minute with us. Even got his first MO WIFF hit, and he's leading the league in batting average, so I know he's very excited about that. But so I know he doesn't qualify quite as much with only being 2 games, but he's the only one with a 400 batting average. So shout out to Peter for being a part of it with us. But
there's
Jordan
guys been playing 15 games with no hits yet. Think of it that way.
True. But I think Jordan and I talked about the pitching strategy, and I was going to start the game, and if needed, he was going to come in and finish that game and then roll right into the Purge game. So we had a strategy in place, but Jordan did say before we played, hey, if you're rolling, just keep going. So never would have thought that it would have been a no-hitter against the best hitting team this year. But I will say the Mamas kind of have gone cold, and I think everybody's seen it. And it was a prediction that I think was clearly made. Like, they're facing off against some good teams down the stretch, and they're going to have to steal a win. And they haven't stolen one of those wins from any of those teams. And I think Cole will tell you that he needs to step up for his team too, coming into this last game against the Archers, and then hopefully for the Mambas into the playoffs. Because I really do think the Mambas go as Cole goes, and they showed that this season, that he was fantastic at the beginning of the season, and they were winning. And then I think you'll have to stat check me here, but he might only have a couple of hits in the past 8 games or so, and that's not going to help his team out being at the top of the order So pitching around Cole, but we got him out all 3 times, luckily. But there was a couple scary moments against Caden Rice that I thought he actually took the best at-bats against me. So shout out to Caden and his prowess. He's getting better and better as a player.
Oh, yeah. Them boys that are on the Mama's team, I enjoy watching them play.
Yeah.
But I enjoy watching you guys play, too. And I think it is just you can tell how the game's going based off how you're going. And what I mean by that is you're going to have fun regardless. But I mean, when you're really having fun and just, not necessarily chirping, but talking while you're pitching, it's one of my favorite things to listen to.
That's what it should be, right? It should be that fun aspect. And even Connor is very intense when he pitches and he's in his zone. And I love that about him, that he can zone in and he can do that, especially competitive, like at UF, he does that. But as I have to catch myself when he's on the mound, because I will play my game and sing from shortstop, and I will do those things, and I will talk to batters and wave to them. And, even if I'm not pitching, but you kind of have to play your matchups there. And even when Jordan was pitching, I can be silly with Jordan too. So yeah, it's always fun to be together with that group. And I do see them as good friends, best friends, and family members, that Mojo team. So it's a fun atmosphere to be a part of. And when you can have fun with your buddies and you can also be competitive and win, it makes everything better too.
Yeah, it's fun seeing Jordan. I played with Jordan for 2 years, in the Archers when I first came in the league. And I mean, it seems like, this year has been a different side of Jordan. I mean, you always, could crack a good joke, before game, after game, but mid game, it was go time. But to see it mid game now, it's kind of cool to see.
Yeah, we've wanted to have Jordan on the Mojo for a long time. And, the way wiffle ball careers go, depending on who you face off pitching wise, you could have up and down years. Like Jordan and I are showing it this year. We are not at the top of our games hitting wise. We're facing really great pitching. So we're putting good at bats still. We're putting good ball, bat on ball, but it's just not getting through or not getting the results we want. But it's just nice to be his teammate throughout this year. And for us to be able to say, we played Mo WIFF together and we're rolling into UWIF together, the four of us, is something that we didn't think we'd ever be in that state where you could do that, because that's what the juggernauts do, right? They play together all year long. But to have that competitiveness and that camaraderie all throughout the season into UWIF is just a fun way to cap off the year.
For sure. For sure. You guys' mojo, you're sitting in first place atop the division. You are leader of your own destiny. Win and lock it in, for the division.
Yeah.
How would you say that this is, this season's compared to the past?
I feel like it's a lot of the same. I feel like while we haven't had the offensive prowess that we've had the past couple of years, I feel like we're still right there as one of the best pitching teams. We're one of the best fielding teams. I think we're one of 3 teams that doesn't have an error. Knock on wood. We got one more game left, but I feel like on the defensive side of things, we're always going to be up there. It's just a matter of who steps up for your team. And when people are like, well, look at your roster. I mean, you have myself and Gus and Jackson and Connor and Jordan now. And you have Q, who's been hitter of the week twice probably this year, or once last year, once this year.
Once last year, once this year.
So I feel like and that doesn't even include Brett and Blake Spencer, are 2 of the most offensive-minded players that we've ever had in the SWBL, and have had big moments. Blake hitting a home run off Cam last year, or whatever we played on the other field, and Brett having so many big moments in his career. I feel like we have players that can step up. It seems strange to say we're one of the maybe the bottom 4 hitting teams this year. So I think that's the biggest change, but. We knew we were going to make playoffs. We were fully confident. We were 100% going to make playoffs. We would will ourselves to get in that position. Something that I know Q and Doug always keep tabs on. I think it's been, I don't know how many days it's been. They keep track. It's something like 900 plus days or something, getting close to 1,000 days that the Mojo have yet to be swept by a team. So whether that's playoffs or regular season, it's been like almost 1,000 days. So again, knock on wood, because we have a lot coming up here, but we can't get swept next week at least, because we beat the Kings once. So we're not swept in that series. But it's going to be interesting going into playoffs, because I feel like while the past couple of years we felt like we were the best team going into the playoffs, we still feel like we're one of the best teams, but all the other teams have caught up this year. And I think that's going to be the difference going into playoffs, is everything's going to be a dog fight, where in the past we're like, no, we're the best team, we should win. Now it's like, okay, we know we're the best team, but I don't know, these other teams are kind of like equal to us now. And that's what makes MOWIFF a lot of fun in year 5, is I think it was said last podcast that any single team can beat another team on any given night. So That's what's made it really fun this year to be competitive. I don't like 1-0 games, but we had so many this year.
Me neither. And that's fresh still. Happy for Wheeler. So happy. Anyways, moving on. I do that in all good fun.
And our game was 1-0 too, right?
Yeah.
So,
it was a double no-hitter. Double no-hitter with a 1-0 final. That's what it was between you and Dutton. But, one of you got the dub, one of you didn't, kind of thing.
Crazy.
Any team specifically you're looking forward to potentially playing in the playoffs?
I mean, I feel like everybody kind of knows the scenarios, right? Like, we all know that, Purge are, I believe, going to sit at that 1 seed no matter what happens, really. We are going to be probably the 2 seed, but there's an option for us to possibly 4, I believe, as well.
2 or 4, I believe.
Or 3 even as a possibility, depending on what happens in your all's game. So, there's so many scenarios still that play out. So we're just going to kind of take one game at a time. Obviously, we have the Kings, and we want to take care of business because we do want to wrap up that division. And the only way it would wrap up before we played would be if the Mambas beat the Archers. That game's going to be so fun to watch, Brian, because the Mambas literally have everything to play for, and it's win and you're in for them. And then from the Archers standpoint, it is, they want to at least make our game competitive, you would think, because they want that bye as well. But no, I think it's any of these teams, like we said, can win in one of these series. I don't want to get swept. Obviously, I want to win, but I don't want to get swept either. I just want to make it competitive. We've had great battles with your team, the Thunderbirds, this year. Both of our games, very close 1-0 games.
That was a great series.
Yeah, and I mean, going to a third game, who knows what would have happened, if we would have added a third game there. So having that series go the distance would be a lot of fun. The Archers, obviously, they got us that first week with James Klein, and we were, kind of like on our heels because we were kind of resting on our championship at that point, and then we get James Klein as a rookie first at bat, and he no-hits us. But we did not get to face James Klein the second time around. We faced Drew Maurer twice, and he was amazing, don't get me wrong. But we wanted to face James again. We want to see that. So getting the opportunity to face arguably who I think will be the Cy Wiffle this year. Want to face him possibly in the playoffs at some point. Love facing off against the Bombers. You could say it's kind of a rivalry at this point, but now with Josh Wheeler, they're dangerous, man. I mean, they could sweep any single team if all of a sudden they get hot at the plate to back up their pitching with Josh and Cam. Mambas or Kings, depending on who makes the playoffs. Both teams are fun to play. They're in our division. They're those division rivals. I know we're keeping the divisions the same, so having those division rivals is always fun. It would have been fun if all four of us would have made the playoffs and it had the opportunity before the Bombers won to happen.
Dude, I know.
But now it is. And then I'm missing the Purge. Obviously, we have done well against the Purge in the past. I try and forgive me, and they're going to hate me if I got this wrong, but I don't know if we've lost to the Purge since they've been a franchise. But every single game that we've played against them has been either super close nail biter or Tom's pitched or somebody else has pitched and just kind of been like, all right, here's the game. But and then I'm missing one more team that's making playoffs, I think. Or is it us?
You're the only team you're missing.
So yeah, I mean, like I mentioned all of them, but anybody can win on any given night, and that'll make this playoffs really awesome.
Right. So MO WIFF Classic's coming up. You guys are part of a trade package deal, playing with a combined with the Kings, right?
Yes.
So walk me through that. I have waited
very excited
this until I had you on here.
I mean,
in some capacity.
Maybe people don't know, but obviously the trade would have been fine on its own.
Right.
With the Kings, like to give them picks and we get Jordan. They, and I texted them. I said, "How about a little sweetener? We don't have a team for you if me, Gus, and Jackson will play with you guys. MO WIFF Classic. Excuse me, MO WIFF Classic. So me, Jackson, and Gus are going to be playing with Keller, Hitchcock, and Bone. And I have been many times. I have been on podcasts, or I've probably said over and over again, if I could play for anybody else, it would be Nick Bone. I love Nick Bone. And
you said that.
So to be able to finally get to play with Nick is going to be a lot of fun. And I love Dustin and Jake too. All three of them are fantastic humans. And to give them some pitching depth, to add with Nick Bone. Now we are 4 pitchers deep and 6 hitters deep. So I feel like we're going to maybe make some noise, maybe not win the whole thing. Who knows? But, at least make a run and be competitive and get some reps against some of these great wiffle ball teams that are headed to MO WIFF Classic next weekend. So yeah, very excited to play with the Kings. I have no idea what our team name is. Are we the Mo Kings? Are we the King Joes?
You're the Wild.
The Wild. And I like that even better because we are a wild card for sure.
It is. I liked it when he said it to me. I was like, all right. And then showed me everything. I was like, dude, I'm down with this.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm excited just to hang out with the boys, and those guys like to drink beer too. So we're just going to be loose, have fun.
Oh yeah.
And make it a fun weekend together.
So MO WIFF Classic, we talked about that. So we've already kind of touched a little bit going with Mojo to you Wiffs. You guys are going 4 strong, or has that changed?
No, it won't change. I would tell you, I've gotten that question more times this year about, why don't we bring a 5th? Have we brought a 5th? And I will tell you, we left that spot open for Connor Jaso. I mean, it was his spot to have. If he wanted it in the future, we always were going to leave it for him. He was on our Mojo team last year. We had a bunch of changes come into our roster, early on in the year. But ultimately, these are the four guys that we have wanted to get together and play together since the beginning of this tournament. Maybe not since the first year, because that was different, but we've wanted this core of guys to be together. We never could get it come to fruition for all four of us to be there the same year. Jackson couldn't be there during this year when we played for Way Too Beautiful, and then I ended up not being able to show up as well. The following year, Jordan couldn't come. The following year, last year, Gus could not come. So we have, and I got hurt the year after that too, before when Jordan couldn't come. So it was Gus and Jackson were a part of it, with Caleb and Colin and Ryan O'Rear that year. So it was, we've had all these things happen to us, whether it's weddings or injuries or family sicknesses or something that happened. So for it to, knock on wood again, Brian, but hopefully we're a month away or so. Like let's get through this month healthy and be able to just try and have a weekend with the four of us. I will say, Jordan's velo's down, Jackson's velo is down, my velo is somewhat down, and Gus is on the rise. But
I don't know about that. You were throwing pretty hard the other day, consistently harder than you normally do.
Yeah. Well, and even Jordan throwing against the Purge on Thursday, he looked really great. All of his slider and his screwball were working. I thought while the radar gun didn't show how fast it was, like watching it back, it had a lot of pop at the end, like a lot of late movement. So I feel like if we can save our arms going into UF and have that break together, Jordan's not doing the MO WIFF Classic. I don't expect him to pitch against the Kings. To kind of keep Jordan as fresh as possible is going to be good for our team down the stretch. But, we're 4 pitchers deep and 4 hitters deep. We don't have to worry about who's in the game. We don't have to strategize. We don't have to hurt feelings. It's just these are the 4. We're rolling with it. We had opportunities for people to join us, and we would have loved for a couple people to join us. We tossed around the idea of Drew Maurer, but obviously Drew wasn't able to get the permission from his family. We've had other people reach out to us from across the country that have asked to play, and it just wouldn't be the same. I hate to say that. We have one room for the 4 of us to stay in. The 4 of us just hang out, have our time, and play. So, yep, that's our story. We're sticking to it.
Love it. All right, so my next couple questions that I have for you are coming from a fan sending questions here.
All right, fan questions.
So who would you say is your biggest rival in your wiffle ball career?
Oh my goodness, that's a great question. I feel like from a national,
all your time playing, you can go national, you can go local, you can go your league, go MO WIFF, you can go however you want.
It has changed. I feel like it's hard because we have always said that our SWBL travel team, we don't really have too much animosity towards anybody. For a while, our rivals, we could have said, were this team called OCWA, the Ontario County Wiffle Association, before they went defunct. And they would not consider us rivals because we only beat them, I think, 1 time out of maybe 10 chances. But we consider them to be our rivals. And there was a lot of trash talking games with them and things too. Wiffle in Southeast Michigan was another one that we had a lot of good face-offs against. That's one of the most well-known wiffle ball moments in my career is hitting the home run off Stephen Farkas to get to our first finals ever back in 2016. And so we've had some rivals on the national scene from that standpoint, but I don't know, from a St. Louis perspective, I don't know if I have a specific person that's a rival. Right now, I guess you could say from an SWBL perspective, my rival is Gus because I don't the Yankees just need to be taken down. 4 finals appearances in a row is not okay. And 2 championships, all of a sudden Gus joins the Yankees and he's never missed the finals. So maybe it's Gus. Maybe I need to knock him down a peg. So we need to make sure they don't make the finals next year.
All right. Who, in your opinion, would you say is the best wiffle ball player of all time that you've played against?
That's another great question, man.
I'm curious. I'm partially curious if the person that submitted these questions was hoping that the answer would just be them. for these two questions? I'm curious.
It's a person I've played against.
It's a person you played a lot against, probably.
So again, is this a national perspective or is this a local perspective?
Let's let's go national. Let's go national. There was nothing given to me, but I'll pick it. I'll go national just for shits and gigs.
I think the best player that consistently that we faced off against was Ryan Bush. I think he has had the longevity. He is still playing at a high level. I feel like we've had a lot of great battles with a lot of people. But when it comes to one of the greatest ever on both sides of the ball to do it, I'd probably say Ryan Bush is one of the GOATs for sure. A lot of the East Coast guys, may not feel the same way because the style is different, but Ryan played in all of those different styles and found success in all those different styles. So I think he would probably be my pick for one of the greatest I've played against.
Gotcha. All right. What is your secret to playing wiffle ball still in your prime, all while pushing 40? And when do you think your career will end?
Not throwing hard. Like all you idiots that are throwing your arms out, like, what are you doing? Like, yeah, maybe I was too weak to throw 89, 90 miles an hour. And I'm just now, beginning to work out simply to stay viable and not to improve my velo or anything. But all you dummy brains that decided you're going to throw 90 plus miles an hour, now you're all hurting. And look at me, I'm pushing 40, throwing 83, pitching a no-hitter and pitcher of the week, going into. Did you expect me to win pitcher of the week this week with the likes of, Foss, Cam, Wheeler pitched? Did Wheeler
No,
pitch
it was Cam versus Foss.
And then Dutton, and there's somebody else on the list to vote for. I was like,
Colin.
Colin, all these players are better than me. So, nobody expected me to be on the list. And did you expect Klein to be the hitter of the week this week? No. Like, we should have our roles reversed and our interviews reversed, but yeah.
I guess because I had already watched that game, yes, I fully anticipated Klein. But at the same time, the week it happened, since that Archers game was technically not played this past Thursday, but the Thursday previous, it was the same week that Wheeler went boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
So, it was the weekend Wheeler's bat, or the week Wheeler's bat opened up. So I was like, oh. And then I saw how we broke it down. I was like, oh, man, it's all split up. But
and Wheeler could have been the hitter of the week too. I considered voting for him just because it was such a big home run against you guys, and I know the voting has gone that way fast. But you got to give Klein his due when he has that breakout moment, especially 2 off of fast pitching at the time too. So 3 home runs is nothing to snuff about.
What advice would you give to all the young wiffle ballers out there listening or watching?
Don't take it too seriously and have fun. I have done a lot of losing in this sport, a lot of losing, and I still play because I enjoy the people that I'm with and the challenge of what's to come. And the fact that I'm still pushing 40, played this game competitively for over 20 years, been to pretty much every huge national tournament there can be. And I've lost every single national tournament. Most travel tournaments that I go to end in a loss. If not every single one, I'd have to think about it again, but probably every single one have ended in a loss. And it's just not taking it too seriously. It's about having fun with the people you go with and taking those moments that you'll remember. 20 years from now, you're not going to remember if you won or lost maybe, but you'll remember, those silly, little times back at the hotel or those silly extra moments that you have with your friends that you won't get when you maybe get older. So taking advantage of it now.
It's awesome. So we know NWLA is coming to St. Louis.
Yeah.
So next year, how excited are we for that? Can you
Very excited.
Quick sneak peek into some of the things we may get to see?
Yeah, all the teams that are coming on the 30th for MO WIFF Classic, you'll get a pretty good taste of it. For everybody that doesn't know, we have 11 teams already registered for the next year's tournament. And next year's tournament is basically a year away because 10 days ago would have been a year out for the tournament. So the fact that we are a year away from this tournament and we already have 11 teams it's no slight on anything that anybody's done, but Minnesota had 12 teams 2 years ago. Pittsburgh had to scrape together 16 because one team dropped the day of the tournament. So they had 15, but luckily one Ridley Park brings a whole plethora of people. So they were able to just throw together a makeshift team last minute to get to 16. But the fact that we already have 11 and 3 of them are East Coast teams. So MO, Ridley Park, and Wiffle Life League are already registered for the tournament. We have Indiana teams registered, St. Louis, Missouri, Illinois teams registered. We know Minnesota teams are interested in coming back. We have heard rumblings of West Coast teams and South teams coming. We really do anticipate this being the largest NWLA tournament since regionals has been hosted. First or second year in Indianapolis, they had, I think, 18 or 20 teams. And we fully expect to get to 20, if not eclipse it, and hopefully get to 24. So if you're coming to MO WIFF Classic, come to Car Shield Field, see that play out, see how it's going to be run. The NWA tournament has never been hosted inside of a stadium, kind of like UWIF. And we have a lot of interesting people still coming to help out. Tim Dean is one of those that we're going to have be on as our tournament director, just like UWIF too. We're going to run it a little bit different, going to add some things to make it hopefully the 15th anniversary, one of the best.
Yeah, I loved when the logo came out and the St. Louis, the IS in St. Louis was 15, and I was thinking, all right, that's dope. I like that. That's cool.
Trent and I had long conversations about what we wanted out of it, or I had a conversation with him about what I wanted out of it, and incorporating the flag of St. Louis in so many different aspects of it too, and really making it paying homage to the past logos from the past tournaments, and then bringing in that St. Louis flair, the colors, the arch, how the flag plays into it. And like, the fleur-de-lis is in there. And then also the 15, in the St. Louis. It worked out perfect, St. Louis 1-5. That was the first thing I knew I wanted. And I told Trent, okay, we got to do this. I don't care how you do it, but it's got to be included. He goes, dude, that's such a great idea. I go, I know, it happened perfectly. Organic. So it's awesome.
All right. So we normally end these I try to end these conversations, and with everybody, seeing if they got any questions for me. And if I know you, I bet you got a doozy or two that you're ready.
Oh, I don't have any questions, Brian, but I do have some activities that we're going to play. Here we go, everyone. I'm taking the reins of this podcast, bringing in Brian now to have some fun. The first one, Brian, we are going to blind rank 5 pitchers that you would most not want to face. So I have 5 pitchers listed in order. I am not changing this order, and you're going to have to blind rank these 5 pitchers. So I'm going to give you these 5 pitchers. Here we go. Are you ready?
Okay.
First one, just pitched a no-hitter. Your pitcher of the week for Week 16, Sam Skibby. Where has he fallen? 1 is the person you do not want to face the most as a hitter. And then 5 would be the one you think you could handle, the most. And there's no hard feelings. I put me on there just for fun because we're here.
Hey, I like having the fun, because if you're not aware, and maybe you are, you're the first pitcher that I ever hit a home run off of in MO WIFF.
I did not know. That makes sense. I give up a lot of home runs.
Well, it was 56 and under, so to be fair to both sides.
Oh, I do remember that now.
Yep,
I do remember that.
Because I ran it out, and I felt like an asshole for running it out. But it was my first career home run. But I'm going to put you at 4 just because I don't know where this list is going. But I'll put you at 4.
I like it. 4. Okay, next one. My teammate, Connor Jaso.
1.
Easy 1. I figured you were going to say that. So this is what's going to make interesting about this
God,
list. Number 2.
Damn it. Right. Damn it. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm at not number 3, but the third person that I'm going to say. So right now you have Jaso at 1 and me at 4. So you have 2, 3, and 5 left. Next one's Josh Wheeler.
3.
Okay.
Mostly because I feel like I got to be strategic potentially for these.
Okay. So you have 2 and 5 available. Okay. And remember, I'm not changing the list. So 2 and 5 available. Next player, Cam Smith.
You're going to drop Brody on me with the fifth one, aren't you? Or Gus. You know what?
Never know.
I know. I never know. I'm just anticipating. I have not hit Cam whatsoever in my entire career.
Many people have not.
And so I give him his flowers as much as I hate it, just because, got to have some fun with it. He's still a commissioner and we have some fun razzing each other. And, me and him have gotten pretty tight over this year, just kind of working through everything, but still, um, God, I'm going to give him his flowers just because he
2 or
made me look like
5.
an asshole too.
2. Okay. And your number 5, you said it. Brody Livingston is
All right.
at
So
the
here,
end. The
hold on.
most you would want. No, Brian. There's no explanation.
No, this is
You
why I'm
have
okay with
Brody
it.
at
Here's why I'm okay with it. I historically in my own life, all right, in my baseball career and everything, I have hit lefties.
Okay.
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 And because of the fact that I am so far a pull hitter, anything that runs inside, if I'm able to get my hands through, I see it longer. So God, I hate you. I hate you. I should have known
Well, you
that's
knew
what
it
you
was
were
going to
going to
happen.
say.
You even said it, and then
Yeah,
it
but
would
I
have been
thought you were.
interesting.
I also thought you would have curveballed me there and not had Brody on the list. So that's
Oh
fine.
no, if you would have put me at 5, I would not have been mad because all those pitchers ahead of me are better. So it would have made more sense. And I was just hoping you wouldn't put me at 5, and you fell right into the trap, Brian. So
Well,
I
good
appreciate
fun.
it. Well, we're not done, Brian. We're still rolling. Here we go. Let's get Brian in some more trouble, shall we? All right. The next game we're going to play with
I'm
Brian.
sweating, you asshole.
The next game we're going to play is Keep 4, Cut 4. You are going to build your playoff lineup, not pitching, Brian, just a hitting lineup. And to make things interesting, there is one player per team on this list. So you're going to keep 4 of them and cut 4 of them to make your best playoff roster. Now, this is going to be not, the highest of level of hitter from each team. So kind of take that for what you will. Okay.
Oh, and I don't get. You're gonna one for one. You're gonna ask me these, aren't you?
Yep, 1 for 1. And you don't get to see what the whole list is. It's going to be one at a time. You're either going to keep or cut that person. Are you ready?
Yep.
And just a disclaimer for everybody, don't get mad at Brian for this. This is hard to do for anybody. Anybody would have trouble with these lists. So here we go. First person, are you keeping or are you cutting the Kings' Dustin Hitchcock? Having a fantastic year this year. Has a potential to be the all-star for the Kings this year.
Okay. So you can stop laying that on real thick. Oh man.
Yep, interesting. Lefty pop power.
Yeah, it's four-man lineup, right?
4-man lineup. You get to keep 4 of these and cut 4 of these, and there's one person from each team. So this is the only Kings player on this list.
I'm gonna cut him, but he's my number 5.
Okay, cutting Dustin Hitchcock. Number 2 player from the Bombers, Tommy Dwyer. And all of these players have this very similar. They break out at any moment. Good hitters in their own right. Could break out at any moment for their teams.
I like how you say that now after I go that route.
I'm saying that this is the list. There's some fantastic players on this list. They all just might not be the top hitter on their team.
I'm cutting Tommy.
Okay, you have 2 cuts. You only have 2 more places to cut. And you're the first 2, okay? All right, number 3. It's going to get interesting. Number 3, from the Melonheads, we have Bryson Livingston. Bryson Livingston, another lefty. Do you want the lefty in the lineup?
Yes.
Young kid.
I'll keep Bryson as a young kid because I'm building the lineup, so I'm also building for longevity too.
Okay, you're building your 4-man lineup. Yep. Okay, Bryson Livingston, your first keep out of everybody. Yep. All right. Speaking of rookies from the Mambas, we have Caden Rice.
I'm keeping Caden because we're talking offensively. Oh, Caden, yeah, because I think Caden's bat is quickly coming along, and he's somebody. He's gonna continue to be somebody that grows to be a good little hitter.
He was my toughest out when I faced the Mambas last week for sure. So Caden Rice. So you have Bryson and Caden right now in your lineup, and you have cut Dustin Hitchcock and Tommy Dwyer. Here we go. That's halfway through.
God, you got me sweating, bro.
All right, this one's gonna be fun. From the Mojo, Quentin Meyer. Your podcast brethren, Quentin Meyer.
Respectfully, Q. for this lineup, as good as
Don't
you
need-
are at breaking everything down,
Don't need the lefty again.
I don't need another lefty because I'm hoping there's other lefties above you. But I think I'm gonna have to cut him just because of the fact of
Oh, Q.
I
Do
hate
you
that.
hear this, Q? Come on now.
What are you trying to do, dude?
We could have gone lefty, righty, lefty, righty. I mean, think about the fielders going back and forth.
Hey, lefty, righty, lefty, righty. Look what it did to me last week.
Here we go. Next player from the Purge, Zach Gunn.
Keep.
He's having a fantastic year as a rookie. And so far, you've picked 3 rookies for your keeps right now. That's
because that's all you've been asking me.
All right. Number 7 from your own team, Spencer
God.
Foss. Not as a pitcher. This is hitter.
As a hitter right now, Spencer, no. Right now, no.
Okay. Spencer Foss getting cut. His manager
as a
cuts him
hitter,
from his own team.
As a hitter, collectively, no.
That's okay. He will take that with some grace, I hope. Or it might ruin your playoff hopes for this year. Who knows? And the camaraderie just goes down from there. And that means your cuts are all there. They're done. So this person you have to keep, it's a good player. It's from the Archers, Ethan Bailey. So got Ethan Bailey on your team.
Oh, God, you didn't even... That's... God. So you kept no criteria whatsoever for this list. You know what? I appreciate that. You kept no criteria. I thought you would have picked at least players that played, a certain amount of games or something consistently.
Oh, no.
But he had like 3 games?
What do you mean? Ethan's a fantastic hitter.
Hey,
so your lineup.
True. Hey, because you know what? If this is a lineup that bats every week, so that lineup is
Bryson, Caden, Zach Gunn, and Ethan Bailey.
Yep. So, I mean, your Gunn is my leadoff guy. Okay, Bailey is my 3-hole. Bryson's batting 2.
Caden at the end.
And then Caden at the end. And here's why. Just because of the fact that Caden's going to sit there and keep watching and watching and watching, and he's the one with the quickest hands out of all of them to blow through his zone. So he's going to get to see a pitcher and go and kind of be able to lead that way. Gunn's going to be a free swinger. Bryson has the eyes to be able to take pitches and walk, and so does Bailey, and Caden gets to come home and knock them in. So I'm okay with a 4-man lineup right there with out of those 8 that you gave me.
Now, the fun part would be to take these 2 rosters, the other roster being Dustin. This is the cut team, by the way, everybody. The cut team would be Dustin Hitchcock, Tommy Dwyer, Quentin Meyer, Spencer Foss. Let's play that game on All-Star Night, just for fun. Let's play it out and see what happens.
In all reality, with the right pitching going against it, that's a lot of strikeouts in that lineup.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Thanks, Brian, for doing that. But I still have one more for you. This one is not so much a
gotcha.
It's not. Yeah, not that. It's trivia. So I want to see. So turn off your little, your cheat sheet that you got up there with the stats. You're going to get 3 strikes. You are going to name the top 8 players in career hits who have never won a Mo Wiff award before. That's the tricky part. So they've never won a Mo Wiff award. So who are the top 8 players? You get 3 strikes. Did I get some of these wrong possibly because I don't know if they actually won an award or not? Probably. But we're going to, play that through together. If you tell me, oh, no, they won this award, I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, I forgot because I had it. But I have the 8 players that I think have never won a Mo Wiff award. Who are those 8 players? And if you name somebody with an award, this is a good chance for you to think, okay, it's not going to be Cole. He's won a Silver Slugger. It's not going to be me. It's not going to be Jordan. Those are the people you think of instantly for top of the hits that you mentioned for the 100 and 98, but we can't be in there. So you get 3 strikes, and I'll give you even one more clue to help you out. These are 8 players that we haven't mentioned in your first 2 games.
Oh my God, you put some thought in it. All right.
So none of the 8 players that I gave in keep 4 cut 4, and none of the 5 that we blind ranked.
Hitch was one of the ones I was thinking about, but but then again, if we're talking, because everybody else is too new, so that's fine.
And he's not on. He wasn't on the top 8 list anyway. So that's why I say these 8 players haven't been.
And what award are we talking? And they haven't won an award or a specific award?
Haven't won any award, I think. Even like character of the year, they haven't won manager of the year, any of them. Rory's number 1. Good guess. He has 94 career hits. Yes.
That's not fair because I do remember that from when I was looking at that earlier.
There's 1. You get 3 strikes. Got to think longevity. Got to think, okay, these players have had hits, and I can hit.
Worst in home ones has won an award.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not on there. Ryan Brown hasn't played for pretty much 2 years, but I could see him on there. I mean, if he played, but he's not on there. Eichenlob?
Sam Eichenlob is your first strike. He is not quite on the list yet. That's your first strike. All right, first you have 1. You have 7 more to guess with 2 more strikes.
Bogad.
Spencer Bogad is number 2. You are on a roll. First and second. Spencer Bogad has 61 hits. That is 33 behind Rory in first place on this list. But
that's what I was about to say.
There's a lot of people in between that have won awards. But
now we're getting into that list of now I kind of got a feeling. Andrew, no, he's won an award, so that doesn't count. Nichols doesn't count. Hitchcock another. Nick Bone potentially because Nick was a good little hitter.
Nick Bone is number 3 at 58 hits. So you have the first, second, and third players on the list. You better not be cheating because you're doing these in order real fast. 1 strike.
Oh, Doug, that. Hold on here for everybody. All right, real quick, just so everybody knows, we're going to turn around. My computer screen is my script of questions that I keep. So when I'm looking at it, my second monitor is my background screen, and my phone is sitting on the charger.
It was suspicious. It was suspicious.
And then my laptop right here. So I'm not cheating, I swear. Trying to think. We got another king.
You're doing great. Even St. Michael was a great guest too, but he hasn't quite hit the numbers.
Thinking players that are on.
You're thinking longevity. Yeah.
Would Rogers be on that list?
Josh Rogers is your second strike.
Rogers also would have been an award winner, though, wouldn't he have been?
Maybe, but he's not even on the list anyway. He wasn't even on the list. I don't think he got close. So these you could think of. I mean,
I'm trying to think of people that have been around as long as me because that's roughly in the round that we're looking in.
You got some. I'll give you some. There's some. I'll give you a couple more guesses. I'll give you a couple more clues. I mean, since you have 2 strikes, here are your clues. I'll give you a few. One of them is arguably considered one of the best hitters in MO WIFF history. Hold on, before you guess. 2 of them are doing really well this year and are getting a lot of props this year. One of them is your teammate. Another one is your teammate. And then there's another player that is loved by all. Those are your last 5 players.
One of them is my teammate?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Nichols doesn't count.
Mm-hmm.
Dom's only been in the league 2 years. So is Foss. Rogers, I already said, and that doesn't count. Oh, my God, Mark Vogler.
It is Mark Vogler. Mark Vogler is number 7 on that list with 49 hits. Yes.
Wow. All right. And then somebody who's having arguably worse than Holmes won an award, though.
Yeah, it's not him.
You said loved by all.
One's loved by all. One is arguably considered one of the better hitters of all time in MO WIFF. I said arguably. And then 2 of them are having really great years. 2 other of these players are having
Is Parker on that list?
Parker Bunch is number 8 at 47. Yes. You're missing 3 players with 1 X. Gave you the clues.
Yep. He's one of the ones having a good year this year.
Yep. So another one having a good year, arguably one of the better hitters of all time, and loved by all. And all of these.
Oh my god, the mind is drawing a blank.
all the people listening and watching are probably screaming answers out like you.
Probably. It's like, how are you? I'm not the historian of between me and Q. This is perfect stuff for Q.
Oh, I know, but that's why it's fun to see you struggle like this, Brian.
Oh, I know. Dude, in all reality, I mean, Gus hasn't played enough games to probably be up on that list. But then again, the way he does hit Ryan O'Rear. But he won. No, he didn't. So Ryan
O'Rear is on the list. 58.
Yeah,
yes, he's tied with Nick Bone. Yep. So you got Ryan O'Rear. That's the one that arguably is considered one of the better hitters of all time. And then you have two more players. One loved by all and one having a great year this year. Never won awards.
I feel like an idiot. I'm going to feel like an idiot.
No, you won't. These actually are kind of out of left field, in my opinion.
Not well, Nick.
I don't know if I expected either of these players to be on this list, honestly.
I keep trying to think if Welnick or Jimmy Stout would be on there, but I mean, we're talking.
And hilariously enough, they both have 54 hits, so they're tied. They're the two that are tied on this list with 54.
Jesus, I mean, it could be. Give me a division. Will you give me a clue? Let me use a lifeline. Can I get a lifeline and get a division?
Yeah, one in each.
I was like, damn it, that was going to happen. I didn't thought about that afterwards.
I'll get the person that is loved by all, that is in the national division, your division, and the person that's having a good year, and more specifically had a better first half of the year, is in my division, American League. I'm trying to help you with your last strike here.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like I'm just so gummed up right now, and I'm like sitting here sweating, and I'm like, the pressure's on, dude.
Okay, one of them is a lefty.
There's only, like, we said Hitchcock. I'm going through there. Nichols isn't there. Yeah, you said in your division?
I'm not going to tell you what division.
Wait a minute. Is Welnick up there on the list?
Welnick is your third strike, Brian. Welnick is not up there. The lefty in my division is J Rich. Surprised me because I know he's had some hits. And then you did say the name. The person loved by all, of course, is Jimmy Stout, 54 hits. I was also surprised to see Jimmy on the list, but you had it on the tip of your tongue. Brian, thank you for playing the 3 up, 3 down version of 3 segments with me today in your short podcast, now turned long to everybody else.
But dude, you know what? We could. Who cares? The people love listening to what you have to say, so they can all yell at me. This will be a lot of fun on Thursday. Thank you so much for doing this to me.
Yeah.
Anybody needs my phone number, you can get it. You know how to get a hold of me. So you know what? Let's have some fun conversations.
That's right. I can't wait for Q and you to get back in the booth.
Oh, back in the booth or back? You know, it's gonna be next week. It's gonna be next week. But
it's fun stuff. All fun, everybody.
I appreciate you. I appreciate your fun games and everything. I appreciate you putting a target on my back bigger than it's already there. But you know what? That's all fun and games. But like Sam said, all good fun. You know, I'm not trying to hurt nobody.
Except for Spencer. He means it to you, Spencer. You would be
fucking.
You would
but
be
I no. You know boss. What? I'm calling Spencer immediately after this. Gonna clip it and send it to him and be like, he set me up. Him and Brody, you set me up. No, but no, it's all good. But no, Sam, I appreciate you giving some time today. I know you were, had some things to do with the kids, but I appreciate you making the time and have a little fun with the game. But with all that being said, I will be right back to take us home and kind of prep for what next week's full podcast is going to be. So stay tuned. I'll be right back.
Thanks, Brian.
I want to thank James Klein and Sam Skibby for joining us today and giving up time away from the family to come hang out and talk a little whiffs. Love every time that we get to have Sam Skibby on. He always brings the heat. I really felt it today. So tons of fun kind of having the script flipped on me. So I hope you guys thoroughly enjoyed that. Before we dig into this week's games and what we got coming up here in our week 17, make sure you like and subscribe and you ring that bell. That way, anything that Mo Wiff comes out with on the YouTubes, you guys are alerted immediately. We start our playoffs next week. So with that starting up, we're going to be having a lot of different content. The next pod is going to be our playoff preview. All right, me, Jason, and well, we're going to try and get Jason in, but me, Q, are definitely going to be going over our predictions from the beginning of the season and kind of looking at the series of what the wild card round brings and what the series will look like going, to our semifinal rounds. So, with that being said, let's dig into here week 17. I say week 17, even though technically it's week 18, but just the way we figured it all out, it's still going to go down as week 17. But 6:00 game is going to be starting with the Thunderbirds and Melonheads. With the Thunderbirds lost to the Bombers last week and the Purge winning, that locked in the Purge to win the division in the National League. So congratulations to them. T-Birds were looking to lock up that 3 seed. So all it is a kind of win over the Melonheads, and we get that 3 seed. Where things start getting interesting is in the 7:00 game. We have the Archers versus Mambas, and the Archers, to win the division, because they've already locked their playoff spot, but to win the division, they need to win and they need the Mojo to lose. The Mambas have not gotten their playoff spot yet. They need to make it with a win or a King's loss. So, they just easily enough win the game that they have against the Archers, and they can definitely just lock their playoff slot. The 8:00 game, that's where things are even more entertaining, because the Mojo versus Kings, the Mojo can win the division with a win, an Archer's loss, and then the Mojo can, if they lose in extra innings and the Archers win, the Mojo still win the division, just due to tiebreaker rules when it comes to wins, points, head to head. So it's kind of crazy how far that can go. But let's not forget about the Kings. Kings are still in the hunt. They're going to be in it till the final pitch. Kings can make it in with a win and a Mamba's loss. So it's as simple as that. So we got a lot of entertaining things that are going to be coming down to the final 3 games. Now, there has been some questions about potentially having a couple games moved around. So games are subject to change when it comes to timing. Nothing official yet, but as on paper, as it's drawn up and scheduled right now, that's what we got going on in our 6, 7, and 8:00 games. But with all that being said, hope you guys have enjoyed today. I appreciate you guys sticking around for a nice long episode, an unexpectedly long episode. But again, tons of fun and everything that way. I look forward to seeing everybody out at Miracle Field who's all going to be there and come watch some of this mayhem go down. But definitely going to know that I'll be in the booth and you guys are going to get to hear my voice when it's all said and done and when the dust settles. But with all that being said, peace out from Bar O'Brien.